Think of the elite offenses of NBA history. Teams like the 7 seconds or less Suns, the beautiful game Spurs, or the glitz and glamour Showtime Lakers of the 80s. So what defines these high-powered offenses? Usually we think of fast-paced, ball-moving, superstar-driven teams. But what if I told you that the 2022-2023 New York Knicks belong firmly in this club of great offensive teams, despite not being any of those things? What if I told you that this slow, stagnant team could prove that there's more to offense than just getting buckets? What if I told you that those 23 Knicks had the 4th best offense of all time?
Finds Randall, throws it low. Randall gets it back. 8 seconds to go. Randall on the drive, stripped by Butler. Randall gets it back. Randall puts up a three. Bang! Bang! Randall knocks down the three with 7/10 of a second remaining.
On March 3rd of 2023, Julius Randle stumbled and bumbled his way to one of the most elusive feats in basketball, the Mike Breen double bang. And I can't imagine a better play to epitomize this Knicks team. It was rarely pretty, and certainly never elegant, but it just worked. It worked to the tune of a 117.8 offensive rating. Or in other words, it generated 117.8 points for every 100 possessions the Knicks played on the offensive end of the court, beating out all but 3 of the thousands of team seasons played to that point. And if you watched the Knicks last year, what I just told you might make as much sense as the starters being in up 30 with 2 minutes left. While the rest of the league continued to embrace and improve upon the pace and space approach of the modern NBA, the Knicks stayed true to the slow, methodical grind embodied by their finals teams of the 90s. Conventional wisdom would tell you that the best offenses tend to be the fastest ones, generating high-quality shots before the defense can get fully set. But the Knicks played at the 6th slowest pace across the league in 2023. And it's not like their half-court offense was this intricate, free-flowing, ball movement-based attack. If anything, it was the opposite. It was stagnant. They had the 4th fewest assists per 100 possessions in the league that season, and no team was assisted on a lower percentage of their 2-point makes. Instead, the Knicks relied on a simple approach to the offensive end of the floor. They chose to put the ball in the hands of their best players to work in isolation and pick and roll. 4 different Knicks ranked in the top 75 in terms of isolations per game, led by Julius Randle. Only the heliocentric offenses of the Mavs, Sixers, and Nets utilized ISOs at a higher frequency than the Knicks did. And while the ascent of Jalen Brunson was and continues to be something to behold, the Knicks, at least in 2023, didn't possess superstar power rising to the level of Luka, Embiid, or KD. This just wasn't a superstar-driven team. This team wasn't even all that good at scoring the basketball, or at least they didn't do it very efficiently. They ranked just 19th in effective field goal percentage, which is just field goal percentage with 3-pointers weighted to properly reflect the extra point that they generate. Across the board, this Knicks team was mediocre at best when it came to efficiency, ranking 21st in field goal percentage, 19th in 3-point percentage, and 22nd at the line. So then how in the world is it possible that they were among the greatest offenses of all time? To answer that question, we need to delve into what's known as the 4 factors. You see, there are only 5 ways that a team's offensive possession can end: a made field goal, a defensive rebound, a turnover, a made free throw, or the end of a quarter. Every game of basketball is, when you really get down to it, just 2 teams taking turns reaching one of these 5 outcomes. If you know how many times each team does each of these 5 things, and you adjust for 3-pointers and offensive rebounds, then you'll know which team won the game. We can simplify this idea of measuring possession outcomes by looking at 4 specific things: scoring efficiency on field goals, free throw frequency, turnovers, and offensive rebounds. This simplification does discard possessions ended by the buzzer, but other than that, they capture everything that happens in any given game. These are the 4 factors, and they can help us understand the secret to the Knicks' improbable offensive firepower, despite their lack of scoring efficiency. Although free throws are perhaps the least sexy part of the game of basketball, they are an important component to building a successful offense. Teams like the present-day Sixers, the Shaq-era Magic, and MJ's Bulls relied on getting to the line consistently to power their high-level offenses. High free throw rates tend to correlate with stronger offenses because trips to the line are more efficient than field goal attempts. And the Knicks leveraged the line to bolster their mediocre scoring efficiency by getting there at the 8th highest rate in the league. It was a collective effort too. 5 different Knicks were in the top 62 in free throw rate, the most of any team across the league. Obviously, keeping your turnovers down is also important for offensive success. Any shot attempt, even a full court heave, is better than turning the ball over. And the Knicks took care of the ball extremely well, posting the 4th lowest turnover percentage. That effort was led by the star acquisition of the summer, Jalen Brunson. Despite being an unquestionably score-first point guard, Brunson managed to post the 14th best assisted turnover ratio in the league, and he did so while handling the ball a ton. In fact, he had the highest assisted turnover ratio among the top 90 highest usage players in the league. And in minutes that he sat, the Knicks were still in the good hands of Immanuel Quickley, who was just behind Brunson with the 16th best ratio. And at least one of IQ or Brunson was on the floor for 94% of the minutes that the Knicks played, meaning that, save garbage time, the Knicks always had a point guard on the floor that minimized turnovers. So we know that the Knicks were really good at getting to the line and taking care of the ball. But the real key to their success was the final of the 4 factors: offensive rebounding. They ranked 2nd in the league in offensive rebounding percentage, generating 12.5 extra possessions for their offense per game. And the beautiful thing is, 3 unsung heroes are the reason why. It was 3 players often thought of more as offensive liabilities than offensive powerhouses that formed the backbone of the 4th greatest offense ever. While Josh Hart posted the 2nd highest offensive rebounding percentage among players 6'4" and under, Isaiah Hartenstein and Mitchell Robinson made up a center tandem that utterly dominated the glass. Hartenstein posted the 6th best offensive rebounding rate in the league, and Robinson took first by a wide margin. Mitch in particular is about as dominant on the offensive glass as they come, and give me a second to rattle off some stats that prove it. His 2023 season was the 16th highest offensive rebound percentage in a season ever. His 11 offensive boards in Game 5 of the first round last year is tied for the 5th most in any playoff game. And at 16%, he has the 6th highest career offensive rebounding rate of all time. It's a cliche for coaches to talk about doing the little things right, but that's really what's at the heart of this Knicks offense. They had a dominant offense by doing everything well except scoring efficiently. These are the 4 highest offensive rating seasons ever. The 3 top teams followed basically the same formula. They were somewhere between mediocre and decent at getting to the line, minimizing turnovers, and generating extra possessions on the glass. But they supercharged their offenses by shooting extremely efficiently. The 2021 Nets had the highest effective field goal percentage ever. The 2023 Kings and Celtics were right behind them at 3rd and 7th. The Knicks were 69th. Sure, in the grand cosmos of NBA history, the Knicks' efficiency was still nice, but far behind what you'd expect from one of the truly great offenses of all time. It was those little things, the underappreciated details, where this team really shined. So what does it all mean? I don't really know. In a month or two, when the 2024 season settles into the history books, 9 new team seasons will take their place above this one. And in a few more seasons, it probably won't be more than a blip wandering around in the minds of Knicks fans. Yet, to me, teams like this one can teach us something. They show us that there's an immense amount of value to be found in the little things, and the role players that dominate the details. Mitchell Robinson isn't a household name. Josh Hart won't fill up an arena. and Julius Randle isn't Kevin Durant. But the Knicks, for a moment in time, solved the puzzle by giving up on the superstar chase and fitting the right pieces together.